Alright guys, how's everybody doing today? Um, Coming at you with some new cutting edge strats for this Rat Wander build. Uh, if you've been here to my channel before, or you've seen my old original build back in Legacy, or even back in Breach, you maybe be aware that things have evolved. So what we're dealing with here, level 92 Ascendant. Uh, this is still technically a work in progress because I've been trying all kinds of things. Now, essentially what I've done here, uh, such things like the beautiful new helmet is perfect for the rat build. So if you are going to do any variation of the Rat Wander, I have Kinetic Blast and a 4-link in the Tempest binding, and so far I have Rat, the Wed Gem, Minion, and Totem elemental resistance. This fixes a lot of the problems of the totems basically just instantly getting gibbed or frozen or something like that. Really important in red maps. And it has a more multiplier for LA damage, so that's good. And obviously KB. So I have a Queen of the Forest. As you notice, I'm not using Spider Shield, which is cool. I'm trying something different, and so far I'm really liking it. So I have a 6-link Queen of the Forest. I actually 6-linked this in about 9 fusings. You can hate me later, sorry. Anyway, Rat, Wed, Ellie Focus, Barrage, Slower Barrage, and added Lightning. Now, with Slower Barrage, I played around with a lot of different blue gems, but getting 5 off on the Queen of the Forest, 2 red, 3 blue, 1 green. The Varese calculator says, at best, maybe about 2,500 chromatics, which I did burn through about 1,000. At which case, I got this and I gave up and I said, slower barrage it is. Rest of my gear is okay. Now, my wand, not bad. It's even better if you wear Crown of Eyes. I do not wear Crown of Eyes only because the Tempest binding is basically made for a Wander build. At least it feels that way. But not only with everything else, but the synergy with the Ascendant for Hierophant is incredible. So I have a 6-link KB in my helm. It generates power charges, and I can have 3 instead of 2. Anyway, the wand. So I have been crafting multitudes of LA wands, and I don't want to say that I've been crafting all of them. Actually, a friend, her name is Kay, Kay has been crafting a bunch of wands, learning how to craft, and we've been going through together and making a bunch of different silly items and making some pretty decent money selling them. But yeah, this wand, typically this wand would be amazing if it had T1 lightning. It only has T2 lightning, has T2 fire, decent crit, decent attack speed. I actually noticed yesterday that I only had 5 properties or 5 mods on this item, so I slammed it with an Exalt yesterday morning. 32 crit multi. Not the worst thing to Exalt. So shield, this can be necessarily whatever. I just went for something with more than 1,000 evasion, high life, a couple of kind of poopy resist, but it has accuracy since I'm not wearing the spider shield. And yeah, so my jewelry, this neck, actually not too shabby. It's a total damage neck. If I wanted to, I could swap out and put Abiscos in there. Really just kind of pushing the limits of this and wanting to move it forward, see how good it can feel. This is a pure damage neck, and you know, if I actually had big massive balls, I would annul the 3% increased spell damage off and maybe slam it again, but too many good things on there to do that. I have an opal that I crafted myself. Nothing spectacular, but got some flat lightning, accuracy, decent max life, lightning, and crafted fire. And over here on my topaz, to get all my resistances capped, some lightning, some life. I could have gone with mana, but I don't have MOM in this build. I probably should, but it's just insanely point heavy. You have to stretch to the ass end of the tree for everything. So I just went with a little fire. The gloves, I made these myself. Again, I've been working pretty hard on this. So yeah, I have an ice golem. I also have, let's see, normally I have a stone golem too, just as an option. But Herald of Ice, I don't actually use Herald of Ice. Get to that in a minute. Just a cast when damage is taken, a Mortal Call setup. I have been toying around with Ball Power Siphon. Everybody should be using Vol Lightning Trap for the shocked ground. That's really just for single target. I have Chain for the nice and juicy Vol Power Siphon. Now, to be clear, Vol Power Siphon will only cull who is less than 10% life. It doesn't do actually any damage whatsoever. As you can see here on the tooltip, no damage. And that's because I have Ancestral Bond. I'm debating on a extra link here, but not even really that important. So yeah, and the point of the forest roll is mid-tier. So I do wear Hair of Thunder with Wrath. That link is Enlighten, Wrath, Herald of Thunder. I do have Lightning Warp. It gets me out of a couple different situations, so can't be too mad at it. As you can see, my gems are about to hit level 20, although looks like we can actually pull this out real quick.
So there you are.
Okay. And my belt. Belt is nothing spectacular, but has close to 140 life, 35 wed, and a little bit of Flask life recovery. I really wish I could drop the Mana Flask. Almost tempting to figure out a way to pick up MOM, but so far I haven't had the points. I'll show you why in just 2 seconds. Yeah, so we have Mana Flask, but these are the most important for a Queen of the Forest build. I do have a Jade Flask with Reflexes. Oh boy, let's go fast. Diamond of Staunching and Surgeon Quick Killer, because when you gotta go fast, you gotta go fast. Really quick look at the passive tree. For the Scion Ascendant, I do have a Hierophant, so in the Tempest Binding, We can have additional totem, 25% mana, that helps out. 10% of mana gained as extra energy shield. As you see, at 374 ES is not something that I'm relying on, but when I'm really squishy with only 4k life, which actually had about 4,700 life, was going to approach 5k, and then I had an idea. That idea was inspired learning, which again I'll get to in just a second. The other one, which is way, way, way too good to consider, I really wanted Assassin or something like Elementalist for the penetration, conflux, extra golem. Also, there was maybe even the Inquisitor Ascendant, but didn't go that route. Anyway, Deadeye. We get one extra projectile, pierces 2 additional targets, so we don't use the Pierce gem since it kind of got nerfed, and we get a little bit like a mini far shot. And we get Path of the Ranger, so we can start from the Ranger tree. What does the tree look like? Oh, this may make you sick. And I'm also debating on redoing this and saving a point so I can spec here. I have a Green Dream, which 5% of cold is extra chaos, but the main kicker, cold resistance or elemental resistance and radius grant an equal chance to gain a frenzy charge. Hey, automatic frenzy charge. And going back to 50% chance to gain a power charge when I place a totem, all of a sudden my charge generation comes into focus. I don't have any particular skill that generates charges, I just play, which I prefer 100% more than any kind of Orb of Storms or Frenzy, Power Charge on crit. That can absolutely be done, but it doesn't really feel good. Unless that's your thing. Now, Totemic Zeal, why this is something that I prioritize. When you're running fast, one of the only limiting factors to your clear speed is totem placement speed. Also, would love to figure out a way to magically just pick up something like Totemic Mastery, but I don't think I'm going to have enough points. Anyway, yeah, so this is good stuff. They have Rain of Splinters up there. That's a perfect roll. Don't need a perfect roll, but I just so happened to buy that one for about 2 chaos. So do an unidentified chaos recipe, go shopping, get you one of these. So with the Deadeye, Ascendant, and this, I have 3 extra prods for essentially 30% reduced, rather than the less multiplier of LMP or GMP. Now, why this is important is the fact that, if you haven't noticed already, 2020 Rat Gem, 26% less damage. Now we have totems, and with 2 of them out there, it kind of all equals out, so to speak. But anyway, so yeah, here's my tree. What the fuck is this? So, really, because of the Queen of the Forest, I have the Evasion Life down here, Finesse, Heart of Oak, Ballistic Mastery. Forces of Nature is just so damn good, so I wanted to fit that in there. We have Primeval Force for all the penetration, so we have 5 and 6, so 11% on the tree. Thick Skin because I actually don't have a lot of life nodes. Went down here and picked up Point Blank. This is only really something that was an option with this Ascendant version. I've done Assassin, I've done Inquisitor, I've done Occultist with the Fizz/Chaos version. Point Blank does, it just helps the damage out. I don't necessarily ever feel like it gimps my damage, even at a normal range. I feel like it still helps. Now, maybe I could test around with this. Maybe it's not necessary, but so far it's been working for me. Do have herbalism. Here is where I kind of recently respec. I had a bunch of life nodes. I had some life nodes here. I had cruel preparation. What else did I have? Some other stuff. I think I may even had a power charge over here. And I really wanted to pick up this for inspired learning up here with Mind Drinker and Blood Drinker, etc. But that didn't work out. Anyway, inspired learning. Formables are allocated. You kill a rare monster, you gain one of its mods for 20 seconds. Through Heartseeker for the multi. Some crit, accuracy, attack speed with the acuity node, and an extra frenzy. Yeah. So, coordination, blood siphon, trickery. This is really straightforward. We pick up assassination, cold-hearted calculation, and then we beeline up here for some juicy nodes. Arcane blows is really good. Even though I'm level 92, I believe that my next 2 points may be in crackling speed, just because it's so good. These up here, Fusillade, I generate power charges. I almost always have max power charges when I'm running around the map. This is really good. I would love an extra power charge. Not sure how reliable it's going to be. I've also played around with taking this other side and leaving Tempest Blast out, because it doesn't really add too much. But these crit and multi up here, just way too good to ignore the whole thing. I may actually respec out of this if I can find a reason in Path of Building to do so, and pick up, like, maybe say another Jewel Socket and Throat Seeker, things like that. With any totem build, Shaman's Dominion, if you're playing a crit totem build and don't have this, you need to punch yourself in the face. Shaman's Dominion, excellent. So it's not really even an option. And then a beeline over here to Ancestral Bond. Now I do have the life and Ellie resist for the totem rather than this, because as you get into tougher maps, you're just really going to want all the totem life and Ellie resist you want, or you need. So yeah, here's the ugliest tree you've ever seen in your life. But this is kind of something where I initially had this point here. All of this did not exist, and we just had some other things. Now, also points I may end up just beelining to make things a lot more comfortable. Revenge of the Hunted, which is pretty efficient. That would give me 16% life with more evasion, which means more move speed. So going back here real quick, Southbound again. So if you don't know, I have covered this in some of my guides. Why Southbound gloves? Your hits can only kill frozen enemies. Well, that sounds kind of shitty. What's the deal with that? So basically, any on-kill effect, if you're a totem build and you don't have Southbounds on, you don't proc it. There's only a very few things in the game that will proc on-kill effects from totems, usually when it specifically explicitly says totems. I corrupted just about, actually I got really amazingly lucky. Not even sure where it is that I have all of these. Let me zoom through and show you my dead pair. These are some of them. I got the Val Gems, Chaos Resist, and I also have ones for sale that are vulnerability on hits. So Fizz or Chaos, there you go. Anyway, and talk about crafting wands now. This is also a pretty good one. Sales pitch TM. Maybe we can work out a price or not, but let's see, KS1 Emporium. Anyway, so let's maybe throw in a map or two. I actually have to go to work here in just a short little bit, so Falcon Atoll. Now I'm not even going to run the boss because I'm going to, let's see, 90% chance to avoid ailments. Now I will say that particularly feels bad only because of the Southbound. I'm going to summon my golem and I'm going to go. FYI, I do have the Thor Herald effect on Herald of Thunder, and you'll see it going off. But anyway.
I have nothing left.
As you can see, the inspired learning buffs are totally possible. Make it proc. And we have 7 monsters remaining. As you see, that was painfully quick and easy. Boy, does it feel good. I'll save this and grab my buddy something here in a bit, but shape sure. This will be okay. This will be the actual last map I do until later this evening, so feel free to like or give me a follow. Hopefully that won't be too painful for you. I'm going to put Nemesis on it even though I think it already has Nemesis. Not even sexes. Because of time.
here, exile.
Six months left. You gotta feel pretty good about it. And that's essentially Rat Wander 3.0. Maybe the final form, maybe not, but more to come. Now, Kay, as I mentioned before, she actually plays a support character because supports are still busted. Don't believe the negative hype. They are insanely good. Plus grace, plus haste equals fast, equals fun. Anyway, I'm Drew. I hope this maybe enlightened you a little bit about my different guides. Is X, Y, or Z viable? Probably, but be back later. Yeah, so even just look out for the VOD. I will also try and upload it to YouTube so that maybe it'll make sense to you. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Again, my name's Drew. Y'all take care.